Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2025 Lexus LS500. This model is finished off in eminent white pearl, and their MSRP start just over $80,000. So we have a very luxury focused sedan. This is more of the base model too, but it still has a lot to offer. And we'll start off with what this is powered by, which is the 3.4 liter twin turbo V6. This is paired to a 10-speed automatic, and it pumps out 416 horsepower, 442 pound-feet of torque. This model here is rear-wheel drive. It'll do 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds with a top speed of 136 miles an hour. Now, as we take a look at the exterior styling, this model has a lot of chrome accents, as you will see for the grille surround, which has that hourglass design. There's also the Lexus badge, which is also the sensor, and then plenty of cutouts in that mesh to provide cooling. There's parking sensors up front too, a dark housing for all the LEDs with that iconic DRL strip, some more trim accents that are functional in the lower sections there, and then lines off of that grille work their way to the hood just to give it a nice integration. Now, this model also has a very nice set of multi-spoke wheels, which matches the rest of the chrome. As you will see, there's more in the lower side skirt there. There's also some on the mirrors where there's a turn signal, some gloss black. There's a sunroof up top, and then more chrome for all the windows or window trim. And then some very nice lines that flow down the side. In back, there's LEDs for the lighting, backup camera, all the parking sensors, and then more chrome for the exhaust trim accents. Now, this also has a power trunk. You can use the key fob as well to open this up, where this has a good bit of space. Now, the back seats do not fold down. You have some tie-down hooks here. You also have battery access with a little bit of storage there, and that is about it. But you have plenty of room, even going to the left and the right there, to place in some longer items. Now, you'll notice there's more chrome on the door handles. They're proximity door handles too, so just grab any one. And this is a beautiful interior with Alcantara, the leather, the wood trim accents, a little bit of storage in that lower section, and then a plush design for the seats. Now, in back at 5'10", I have a lot of space. There's also storage pockets, vents, and auxiliaries. I have about 1.5 inches or so of headroom. There's also the mirrors that fold down from the headliner. And then right in the middle, you have the armrest with a lot of storage and auxiliaries. And you do have controls to adjust this seat here. Vehicle has to be on, of course. There's the rear sunshade, so you can put that up and down. And you do get cup holders that poke out of the end. So very comfortable to be in the back here. There's also vents on those pillars there too. Now, up front, this has memory seating adjustments. You can also adjust the front passenger seat by pushing on that control and utilizing the side adjustments on the driver's seat. There's this floating design for the grab handle where you have all those controls and then storage down below. And again, the same design for these seats. Now, as we start this up, this has a solid leather steering wheel. Paddle shifters are on both sides. There's all of the cruise control settings, mode and tuning, and then volume, Bluetooth, and voice commands, and then adjustments to go through the digital gauge cluster. Now, really the only adjustments that you have are customizing the 3 different layouts. So you can go between the middle, the right side, and the left side and adjust what you would like to see. So you have 3 customizable settings that you can go through. You can also adjust the meter setting too. So depending on how you want to view that overall graphic, you have a few ways to do that. Now, there's a fuel cap and trunk release, a little bit of storage, and then the head-up display adjustment, which just turns it on and off as needed. And then you'll notice too, on the left side of the gauge cluster, you have traction control and the snow mode, so you can activate those. And then on the right, you have a few different driving modes, which will change the gauge cluster slightly, but you will also notice that appear on the infotainment system as well. Now, with the rest of the infotainment system, you do have shortcuts on this left side, so you can quickly get through all of this information. You have various climate adjustments that you can get into for your front passengers there. You can get into the heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel. You have various adjustments that you can get into for the seats as well. And then a lot of general settings to configure as needed. Now, there's air vents underneath that, along with all the climate adjustments. So there's fan speed, temperature, where you'd like the air to go, volume, power, and tuning. There's the e-brake, some more audio adjustments. There's auto hold, and then you do have a shortcut to get into these adjustments, which I just previously showed. So just by clicking on the seats, you can get into the exact adjustment that you would like. You can also use the adjustments on the side, of course. There's some auxiliaries too. 2 cup holders with an auxiliary that you can open up. And then that is how you put the vehicle into reverse, where you have the guidelines that you can adjust as needed. Now there's drive, and then straight back is for the manual setting, and park is located on the left. You do have physical buttons for the heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, sunshade in the rear. There's also a wireless charging spot in front of the armrest, which will open up 2 different ways. And you have a lot of space along with auxiliaries. There's also a locking glove box, and then garage door buttons up top, dome lights, a sunglass holder, and controls for the sunroof. Sunshade is manually adjusting. And then you have a pretty good look over both shoulders as far as visibility goes. And you'll notice too that the leather from the dash works its way into the doors. So that gives it a nice integration. And in Sport S Plus second gear, here we go. And just like that, we're up to speed. And like I mentioned earlier, even taking some corners in this base model, it's going to handle these well for the type of driving you will be doing with this. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the LS500. This is a model that I've only been in twice so far over the years. So I don't think it's that popular from Lexus, but it's definitely a good option to go with if you're looking for a luxury focused vehicle and you want the simplicity and the technology. So many brands today are going towards a million different options. You're having these large screens to go through. If you want something that is simple and effective, this Lexus is going to provide you with that. Now from experience, what I can tell you with the gauge cluster, very similar to my 25 Toyota Tacoma in terms of going through the information. I love it. I have different settings for towing, daily driving, off-roading, different vehicle of course, but you can go through and set up information like that, and then it's mainly just pairing your phone to this system and you are good to go. So in a world where vehicles are getting stuffed with technology, this gives you everything that you need and nothing more. So it's very nice with all the tech features, the simplicity, and the refinements of it. I think it's a great option to compete with some of those other brands, and you have something that will be reliable and fairly easy to maintain and keep out on the road. But definitely a nice place to be. Now with the driving modes too, it will change the throttle response. So just depending on how you feel like driving, not a huge difference, but even if you go into comfort or eco, just by holding it down, you're going to feel a difference in eco, but it's a luxury vehicle at the end of the day. So you'll get a little bit of response, but nothing significant with this. But you have the options to do that if needed. Now, one thing with this LS500 as well is its overall length. So in terms of its maneuverability, we might be able to do this without backing up. If I swing it a little wide, there's no rear wheel steering, but look at this turning radius. That is extremely impressive. I've been on that turn with some larger vehicles that couldn't do that. So very nice to see. And that is going to wrap it up for the 2025 Lexus LS500. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this for me today. Take a look at the website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I'll see you all in the next video.